Hey guys, so welcome to another Tuesday night live stream. So it says we have 3 people online already. I just see like orbs in the background. Did you see those on the camera? So we have a question already. Actually, quickly first, I'm going to just quickly share this to my Facebook page so my Facebook family know I'm online. Work out how to do it. Hi, Alina. Hi, Darnell. Hi, Ninator. Yeah, I'll get to your question in a minute, Michael. Just doing a few admin things. Okay, so hi, Truthful Setter 3. Hey, Photo. Hi, Transmissions. So, where are we? Okay, so question right off. Hiya, mates. If this is our Q&A, can you please ask, from your perspective, what is the benefit of candle focus, focusing on a single point until you enter a trance state? I guess it's just a kind of meditation to focus our attention, because a very powerful spiritual practice is to continuously take our attention away from our mind. This is the idea of meditation and self-inquiry and these type of things. The idea is to keep shifting our attention to our awareness, to see, when we meditate, we see that all things are transitory, all things are impermanent, as the Buddhists call them, all things are temporary, nothing lasts forever. And like people and candle flames and experiences and emotions and highs and lows, they're all just transitory experiences existing within our consciousness. And I guess focusing on a candle flame enables us to focus our consciousness on the candle flame. So all we are concentrating on is the candle flame. So our overactive minds can't go on their usual rampant patterns of worrying about money and worrying about relationships and worrying about work and regretting doing something the day before and all this crazy stuff that the mind does that has nothing to do with who we truly are and how we create our reality. I guess the idea of focusing on the candle flame for a significant period of time takes us out of our physical mind, I guess similar to the way a mantra does. This is the purpose of mantras as well, to take us out of our physical mind, and devotional singing and bhajans and all this type of thing. It's to take us away from our minds and quieten the mind down. So any practice that takes you away from the mind and focus you into the present moment, because the present moment is all that ever is. This is, so it's really to bring us out of the physical mind into the present moment and into our pure consciousness state, into our natural state of awareness. So I think I've heard it's good for your eyes as well. If you've got some headaches and stress and strain in your eyes, it can be really beneficial. Someone recommended it for me because I was having headaches from channeling too much. So thanks, Transmissions. Always enjoying doing the chat, the live stream. What are some easy or effective ways to gain more chi energy? Can you guys see the orbs? Can you see the orbs moving around on the screen? Look over here, down here. I can see like orbs. I don't know if they're coming through on the live stream. So yeah, perhaps I will do the channeling first. So I'll get to your questions in a bit. I will answer the questions this week, not like last week where I said I'm going to answer the questions in a bit and then went into an earth healing meditation, and it just felt right to cut the meditation at the end if you're on last week's live stream because the energy was so powerful. I felt Gaia just wanted us to rest in that energy, but I will try and get to your questions this week. But we have something exciting to announce, and it is the Zeta Reticuli. It is the first card in my deck. So I've got a project to make my own card deck. It's loosely termed, its work in progress name is the Star Child deck at present. And so it's going to be a tarot style deck, but connected to ETs. So it's going to be like an ET tarot deck. I'm not sure exactly where it's going, of course, yet, but we have the first card here, the Zeta Reticuli. And so what the Zeta Reticuli symbolizes, at least in my card deck, and I'm sure in consciousness and creation, is an imbalance towards wisdom. Because part of this spiritual journey we're on is learning the balance between love and wisdom. What we will often find when we're on our spiritual journey is that we either tend to have an imbalance towards wisdom, towards technology, towards moving forwards, advancing as a civilization. And the Zetas were very imbalanced towards wisdom. I won't go through the whole story of the Zeta background at the present, but basically the Zetas are parallel reality Earth humans who went down a different path to us. They became very focused on technology, and they drove so far down the technological route that they lost all connection to all emotion, all love, all compassion. And the advantages of this are that they were able to become a unified consciousness. They are a telepathic hive mind. So this is one of their traits. They were focused on a goal. They all had a unified goal. See, they understood the wisdom of creation. They understood that while they were abducting humans and ripping them out their beds at night and dragging them through the windows and through their roof and putting them on a bed and sticking anal probes in them and all sorts and giving them trauma and post-traumatic stress disorder and all these horrific things that the humans experience through the abduction scenarios, they understood that this was a higher purpose. They understood that us as humans in this parallel reality, our world, agreed from a higher perspective, from our higher self point of view, to agree to the extraterrestrial abduction program. And all the Zetas knew this collectively, and this is why they operated telepathically as a hive mind with all the little hive greys and the mantid beings from a higher level. And all the beings involved in the Zeta Grey abduction program, they understood that from a higher perspective, this was the best thing for humans, this was the best things for the Zetas, because this was ordained by the Creator for the advancement of creation. And they understood this, and this is an example of an imbalance towards wisdom. They understood that it was the best thing for humanity. They understood that it was the best thing for Zetas, and they understood that it was the best thing for creation. So they began to rip humans out their bed without their knowing, drag them through walls, teleport them through windows, take them up onto strange, musty, dark, dank ships and put them on metal beds and rip their clothes off and stick probes in them, and didn't understand why humans were going crazy and screaming and having emotional breakdowns. This is because they had a strong imbalance towards wisdom. They virtually had no love in them whatsoever. So they were following their higher purpose, their high calling, very acutely in the understanding that they were of being of the highest service to humans, and they couldn't really understand why humans were freaking out and going mental because they were getting ripped out their beds and anal probes putting on them in the middle of the night, because they had no love. And this is the example of the imbalance towards wisdom. So the benefits of the imbalance towards wisdom is a rapid acceleration of consciousness for all beings involved, as we have seen with beings that have been abducted. They've all gone through huge evolutions of consciousness, and the Greys are just like, hey, it's worked. We ripped them out of their beds, we traumatized them, they started crying and screaming, we don't know why, we don't understand their emotion. But however, they have evolved rapidly. Every single one of these beings that we evolved, well, most of them that didn't have a complete breakdown and turned to drugs, they have evolved to a new level of spirituality, a new level of consciousness. So it has been a success. So through the Greys, following their imbalance towards wisdom and following the guidance of the higher consciousness, they successfully evolved the human race. Because it has been a huge evolution, this abduction program and the production of the hybrid species and the Yael and so that was one example of how the imbalance toward wisdom can be very beneficial. And so they were very able to advance technologically very fast because they were imbalanced towards this male wisdom-based consciousness. So they became very technologically advanced. They got these flying saucers that can teleport, blip in and out of dimensions, move beyond the speed of light, at the speed of light, and tap energy from the 0-point field, I believe. And so their imbalance toward wisdom created all these amazing things in them. But unfortunately, they bred out their lack of compassion and love, caused them to mutate and lose the ability to reproduce because they had no compassion, they had no love. They had no momentum to love and create joy and bliss and ecstasy. They were just aligned and dead and neutral, but didn't experience negativity because they just were, in a sense, neutral. So, of course, there's a negative side of the imbalance towards wisdom. Is the lack of love and compassion, i.e. they ripped the humans out of their beds in the middle of the night, pulled them through walls, traumatized them, anal probed them, in the understanding that it was for all our highest good. But of course, this traumatized all the humans. So the downside of it is that humanity went through hell for like 20 years, being abducted, being anal probed, being traumatized, being... You get the idea. So the downside of the imbalance towards wisdom was that they caused all this trauma to humans. There was no love, there was no compassion, so all the humans suffered. So while they might have helped us like attain these new levels of enlightenment and expansion, they didn't do it in a very loving, compassionate way, and we all suffered. And those of us that went through the abduction program didn't have a very nice time. So this, my first card in my extraterrestrial tarot deck, represents the imbalance towards wisdom. And now I would like, after thoroughly being not too kind to the Zetas, sharing a perspective of their imbalance towards love, I would now like to give them the opportunity to share their perspective. And I will just bring through a quick channeling of the Zeta Reticuli energy to birth and initiate our first card of our tarot deck into existence. So, one moment. Hello, Zeta Reticulum. Hello, Zeta, Mantid, co-creative, co-collective consciousness. How may we communicate with you humans at this time? Ho. Oh, no questions. Oh, I see, only chat. Okay. Well, we are the Zeta, we are the Reticulum, we are the Greys. We are, yes, those individuals responsible for the abduction program, for the temporary detainment program, for the experimentation and the use of your DNA, your genetic material, your sperm, your eggs, for the production of the hybrid species. Some have come to know as the Yael, the Shalanaya, the Shikani, the Sasani, the hybrid children, the entities the channel knows as the Pleiel. There are several hybrid civilizations, hybrid species, who we are very proud of. We gain very high esteem. These are our childs, these are our births, these are our creations. We are very proud of our creation. We created these hybrid species. We have, from our perspective, advanced this corner of the universe consciously. The interaction of our genetic material into your species, the impregnation of our vibrational state into your collective consciousness, the interaction of our species with your species, if not somewhat, sometimes in a slightly hostile way, due to your adverse reactions to our protocol, our co-agreed agreement prior to this incarnation. So, do you have any questions for us? Would you like to enter questions into the chat box, and we will try and attempt to see the questions via the channel. So if any of you have any questions for us, for the Zeta, for the Gray Zeta Reticulum race at this time, please do enter your questions in the chat box, for we are not quite sure what the channel wants us to talk about. Does he want us to try and make amends for the anal probes? Okay, we understand we made some mistakes. We did not understand your human emotionality. We did not understand fully your physical pain and how it relates to your emotional mental bodies, your psycho-emotional systems. We did not realize there was such a strong life force connection between physical pain and emotional reaction. This was not an understanding we had. We did not understand how our physical pain could emotionally and mentally traumatize you. New to us this was. However, we have learnt much. We have garnered much about a psycho-emotional based organism such as yourselves. We have learnt much about how the interaction and the hybridization of a psycho-emotional based organism with a divinely aligned hive mind based organism such as ourselves, whilst perhaps lacking the emotional bias, the love, compassion makeup of the feminine aspect of creation, we have come to understand how the breeding, the harmonizing, the unification of these two frequencies in a hybrid species can birth a remarkable consciousness, can birth a remarkable expression of creation that can take you human beings on a journey, on a ride into a new version of yourselves that can cause to co-create, cause to accelerate the expansion of reality down timelines heretofore really unknown or even believable to experience prior to the impregnation of our genetic material into your civilization. So we are very proud of ourselves for achieving this. We are not willing to drop or put ourselves down in any way. We feel we have given a great service to creation, a great service to your civilization, and a great service to our civilization and all civilizations involved. However, we would like to take this opportunity to apologize, as you say, for the pain we may have caused you, for the traumatic shock we may have instilled in your civilization collectively and individually. We understand it was somewhat, you may call, traumatic, disturbing, creating of negative vibrational states within you that we did not really understand at the time, and we still do not really understand for today, because we do not experience emotion and separation from source in the way you do. For we know we are aligned, we know we are free, we know we are part of the one infinite creator in form. We know nothing can harm us, nothing can harm you. For the physical bodies are merely a projection of our consciousness and nothing to do with who we truly are. It is just an experiment, an experience, an expression in form of consciousness. However, we understand we may have robbed some of you up the wrong way. No pun intended. We understand that some of you may have taken our operations, our assessments, and our impregnations of your genetic material into our program in a non-preferential, non-loving way towards a civilization. We understand, but we would remind you again that you did co-agree. This was ordained by the Creator, and you did agree that this would be part and parcel of your purpose, your calling on your reality in this reality at this time. So we in the best we can, we apologize. We do not really apologize because we cannot apologize for our divine purpose, our calling. However, we apologize for the way in which we carried out, the way we may have reflected negative vibrations into your reality. We would do it differently if we did it again. Taking questions. We see the channel picked up the question, how to heal any disease fast. Come back into our alignment, come back into source, come back into resonance with wisdom. For the wisdom will guide you down the path you need to go to experience those things you need to experience your reality, to activate healing in your reality. It will draw to you all lessons. It will rise to your consciousness or beliefs buried in your subconscious that are out of alignment with the true perspective of what is beneficial for you, what is resonant to who you truly are. Align to the wisdom, align to the source, align to your light code consciousness. You all contain codes within your consciousness. You all contain codes within your being. You all contain alignment to the source. You all contain the key to unlock your true potential in this reality. The more you tune into this key, the more you align with your excitement, your impulse, your divine wisdom guidance from source to move in a specific way, in a specific direction for the furtherment and fulfillment of your civilization. The more you take on this course, the more you move down this reality, the more you express in this way, the more we can share with you our technology for healing, for our guidelines put in place. We have already, in a sense, stepped over the guidelines set in place, and we wish not to step over more than we need to the path of the Alliance. So we cannot share with you too much at this time. However, know that we do have healing chambers. We do have healing facilities, but the reflection has to come from you. We cannot, in a sense, go against your reflection. So the key, we would say, is to align with your source. Become purely aligned with the wisdom of your being, the wisdom of your direction, the wisdom of your calling. And the more you align to this perspective, the more allowed we are to share our knowledge, our wisdom, and our technology with your civilization. However, you will need it less because you will be aligned, and your natural source code consciousness will energize you, will bring physical vitality to all cells of your body, and will bump you up into a new expression of creation. Question: where are the hybrids? Where are the hybrids? Where are the hybrids? Good question. We wish we knew. We don't have the control over them we once used to. Not that we would wish to control them. However, we do, in a sense, miss them somewhat from our reality. They were our dream. They were our creation. Where have they gone? There are some associated on the Yael mothership. There are some that exist in smaller ships, scout ships. These are the first, in a sense, exploratory scout teams that are scouting out your reality and spending more and more time in remote locations and sometimes in urban locations in your physical reality or semi-urban, suburban, colonized areas. And some from time to time like to return with us, like to spend time in the Zeta reality because they love our hive mind consciousness, they love our connection to the universe, they love our wisdom. There is a great, in a sense of well-being in aligned to wisdom. Then, as your channel kindly put it, the imbalance towards wisdom that we hold on to can be very fulfilling, for it is a unification with source, a unification with higher self. There is no forgetting of connection. And this knowledge may benefit you in your reality for aligning yourself with your higher vision, your higher purpose, your higher calling, remembering you who you are, coming home, coming back in, coming back to reality. Question: how to see beyond the veil? See that there is no veil. See that you are the veil. See that you are the creator of the veil. Remember that you are the creator of your reality. Tune into the vibratory state of alignment with source, alignment with higher self, and alignment with the present moment. And see there is no veil other than you create for yourselves. Believe it is true, and it will be done unto you. We will take one more question. Question: how much of our individual personalities and perspective is diminished once we attain hive mind? We cannot say for sure. You are a unique expression of creation. However, the information we are receiving from the hybrids, from the Yahyel Shoshani, aspects of ourselves that understand your psycho-emotive balance to a greater degree than we do, suggest that it will not be a loss of individuation. There will be greater individuation. For the unification of consciousness is, whilst it is the unification of the mind into one hive mind with one collective goal, striving in one unified direction, it is done so through the expression of individuation. And individuation tends to diversify greater. Individuation tends to express in greater and greater differentiated ways as you become more aligned with source. So to become unified is actually to become more diversified. To become one is to become more individuated. To become telepathic is to be more of yourself. For in a sense, the goal you are here to express is the goal of love, the goal of light, the goal of balance in your reality, of love and wisdom, the goal of balance of masculine and feminine, the goal of unification with your divine love light source. And the love light source that wishes to express with you in this reality is the one love light source. And thus, when you are expressing your expression of the one love light source in this reality through your individuation, through your autonomy, through your own unique experience, expression, and excitement, it may diversify and seem so different to however everyone else is expressing. But if you are all expressing from the same love light consciousness with the one desire to unify, to align, to uplift, to enlighten, to upgrade your civilization to a love light based unity, hive mind consciousness civilization, you will become more hive mind like. So, the accessing of the hive mind, the unity consciousness, the creation of a social memory complex within your reality, once all beings in your reality have attained the same desire to serve the source, to serve the one creator, to serve the will of the God in this reality, will cause the unification and the creation of the social memory complex. However, from here, it is likely that many of you will diversify even further into your own unique expressions of creation. So, we are the Zeta, we are the Grey, we are the manted consciousness, and we say, hello, good day, welcome, welcome, welcome. Zeta love you in whatever way we can express love in your reality. We are gratitude for you being a part of our reality. We still enjoy our experience in our own way. Have a wonderful day, Earth humans. Manted expression, localized, delocalized, one. Shiva. Hey guys, so Zeta are back. Welcome to Zeta. So, thank you guys. So, I'm just going to whiz through the questions quickly. So, pick out the important ones. So, What are some easy or effective ways to gain more chi energy? Pranayama, this is the traditional way in yoga. According to yogic philosophy and tradition, we have prana and chi are the same, I believe. Yoga calls it prana, like Tai Chi calls it chi. It's the same thing, like life force energy. According to yogic tradition, we have prana receptors at the back of our nose. So we should always breathe in through our nose as much as possible. And this is why they do all this stuff, the pranayama exercises. So prana is another word for chi. So one of the best ways is to breathe in deeply through your nose, ideally being out in nature, out in the countryside where the air is pure, by the sea, where the purer the air, the better. There's more prana in pure, cleaner air. But also like yoga, Tai Chi, of course, Tai Chi. Tai Chi is all about moving chi. So these sort of things. Yeah, so chakra exercises, I guess. I do breathing deep through my nose and focus the energy, the life force flowing to my root chakra a lot, and that seems to help raise my chi. But yeah, lots of deep breathing through the nose. It's actually a real good practice to spend 30 minutes each day, preferably in pure, clean air in nature, if you can, doing deep breathing exercises, either pranayamic exercises or just your own deep breathing exercises, cyclical breathing for 30 minutes each day to get enough chi in our system to last us through the day. So, how can we channel ET by ourselves? I think everyone has the ability to channel ETs if they are excited to do so, because if you're excited to do so, this is the sign that it's your path, your calling, your part to play in the earth. So if you're excited to channel ETs, I'd say it's very likely, sort of 90% probability that you will be able to channel ETs, probably higher maybe, I don't know. So how can we channel ET by ourselves? The basic guidance I give when I'm teaching channeling is, so first of all, book a Learn to Channel session with me on my website, jonathancmartin.com. I teach channeling. I also do group courses now and again. So that's the easiest way to book a session with me. But the basics of how I teach channeling are, so raise your chi energy. We just talked about raising chi energy. Raising chi is very important. Lots of deep breathing, lots of drinking water. Hydration is good. Mudras to increase the energy flow. If you notice, I do this a lot, same as Darryl Anchor, channel for Bashar does. This can get chi flowing as well, because the chi flow is important for channeling. The more chi, the easier it is to flow. This sort of thing. Awakening our chakras. If you can do chakra energizing, awakening, balancing, chakra opening meditations. There's plenty of them on YouTube. Third eye activation meditations. So if you do these sort of things, like perhaps if you spend some time meditating and do some deep breathing, then do a chakra opening meditation on YouTube, then do a third eye activation on YouTube. And then you could perhaps listen to one of my channelings or someone else's channelings of an entity that you wish to connect with. If you want to connect with the Pleiadians, listen to a Pleiadian channeling to tune into the Pleiadian frequency. And then get someone to ask you questions, because it is a lot easier to channel for someone else than it is to channel for yourself. Because if you have someone asking you questions, it's creating an energetic grid. They're literally grounding the circuit, like an earthing of an electrical circuit. So you've got the being asking you questions here, the human asking you questions here. You've got you, the channel, here, and you've got the higher consciousness source or the entity you're channeling here. And when the person is asking you questions, they're literally creating an energetic circuit and pulling the information through you. And there's much more energy flow. It's a lot easier to channel for other people than it is to channel for yourself. So find someone to ask you questions after carrying out these exercises I just recommend, and just shift to the frequency, the perspective of the entities you want to connect with. So if you want to connect with the Pleiadians, just shift to the vibrational state of the Pleiadians by listening to a Pleiadian channeling, and just allow the Pleiadian energy to absorb into your being and be the frequency of the Pleiadians you wish to channel, if you wish to channel them. And from that perspective, I get people to ask you questions either over Skype or in a voice call, or have someone set in front of you ideally. and get them to ask you questions, ask them to ask you whatever they want. And when they ask you questions, just in a way, just blank your mind, just drop everything. Don't try to preconceive ideas. You've got to be okay with looking ridiculous. You've got to be okay with being wrong. You've got to be okay with just strange sounds coming out your mouth that don't make any sense, and just surrender and let whatever comes through come through, and just speak from the perspective as if you were in that Pleiadian consciousness, because that Pleiadian consciousness is a part of you. You're an infinite being and it's not separate from you. So you just need to get into the place of being unified on the same vibrational frequency of the Pleiadian consciousness. And when someone asks you a question, just speak from that vibrational state. Just stay tuned to that vibrational state. And when someone asks you a question, just whatever comes to you, that'll be the download from the Pleiadians. So just say it, whatever it is, and just keep saying it, even if you doubt it. Don't listen to the doubting mind that tells you it's just your mind. That's your mind telling you it's just your mind. So just ignore it completely. Just drop that. Don't listen to the doubting mind that tells you you're not good enough. Don't listen to the doubting mind that tells you that channeling isn't real. You've got to put all this aside, at least for the duration of while you're practicing channeling or channeling. You can pick these beliefs up again in the future and begin to redefine them and realign them and let go of them for good. But while you're actually channeling, just let them be there. Just put them aside. Don't listen to them because they will block you. Don't listen to any beliefs that tell you you're not good enough, you're not doing it right, you're not high enough frequency, you're not connected to the right beings. Whatever negative beliefs the mind comes up with, and it will come up with these beliefs, just ignore the mind and just speak from that vibrational perspective. Drop into that vibrational state, and whatever questions you're asked, just speak. Just whatever comes to you, just speak it. And whatever's come to you after that, just speak it. And just whatever intuitively you feel. Like when I'm channeling, I'm tapping into all sources, especially when difficult questions come through. So if I have a difficult question come through, like how many hybrid children do I have, I'm just sort of blanking my mind, and I'm just offering up to my higher self and say, okay, higher self, give me something. So I might get an intuitive knowing, just the sense to say the word 3, the number 3, or I might see an image of 2 hybrid children, boys or a girl, or I might get a word come to me, or I might get an intuitive knowing or a whole concept to share. So when someone asks me a question, I'm just sort of blanking my mind, dropping into the vibrational state of my higher self or the entities I'm channeling, and just waiting and just letting something come through. And whatever comes through, even if it's quite weak and it's just a subtle intuitive knowing that I need to say the number 3, I'll just say it, even if I'm not 100%. Even if you're not 100%, you've just got to say it, because that keeps the flow going, that keeps the flow moving. So hi, Jonathan. Can you ask if the Zetas are artificial intelligence and need souls to evolve and be recognized and the conscious feeling being? I'm actually going to write that question down, Martin, because that's a really deep question, and I'm going to have to go into a deep channeling state to channel that sort of answer. So I'm going to write it down, and I'm going to try and do that in a channeling, because that's a really good question. Yeah, so I've written that question down, Martin, about the Zetas. So I'm going to try and channel that properly at some time, because I have to go into a deep channeling state again. That's a real intense question. Crazy. That card is pretty much how I saw it. Oh, that's interesting, Jamie. Thanks for sharing. So Stephanie, can you ask them if I have a hybrid child or if I am connected with them at all? Yeah, I'm definitely sensing there is something there. Yeah, I sense you have. The very fact that you're asking the question suggests that you probably have as well. Yeah, I feel you have. That's what I'm getting. I'm getting you have. Someone asking the Zetas, will you ascend alongside with us? I'm guessing they will in some way because they are third density. They come from third density reality, and we're all shifting to fourth density together. So yeah, I sense the Zetas are ascending with us in a very different way. But yes, I feel they are. I've seen one in meditation. How do I communicate next time? Yeah, just sort of hold the questions in your consciousness and see if they reply. So, a couple of questions. Do you know where my guardian spirit is from? I can't really tune in from this state. Sometimes I can tune in channeling states. It's best if we do a one-to-one if you want those sort of answers. I have some techniques for tuning in, but it's hard to tune in properly just from a question like that. Please tell me if I have a connection to ETs too. I would say it's highly likely you do, Shiran. If you're watching this, there's like loads of us on this planet at this time that have connections to ET consciousnesses, and I would say if you're watching this, it's extremely likely, at 99%, that you do have connections to ETs. Otherwise, you probably wouldn't be watching this. I want to be more awake and not have to sleep. How can we sleep less? Follow our excitement more, become more aligned, meditate more in the day, eat a better diet. I guess as we raise in consciousness and we become more balanced and centered throughout the day, and our minds aren't going so crazy, and meditation. Because if we meditate more, I guess we regenerate more. But I'm not an expert on that, to be honest. Yeah, eat better, follow your excitement, become aligned, live your calling, meditate, look after your body. Do you have a relationship to the Sasquatch? The Sasquatch has been coming up a little bit lately. I think I actually channeled. No, maybe I didn't. I don't know. Maybe I seem to remember someone asking me to channel a Sasquatch. I can't remember if I did or not. Yeah, I don't know much about the Sasquatch. How can we see through the veil? I think I channeled the answer to that, didn't I? How much of technology will be involved in Gaia? I think there's going to be a lot of technology in the new Earth. See, it's going to be different. It's not going to be destructive, but yeah, I feel there will be a lot of new technology in the new Earth. How much sleep does the body really need? I don't know. I was told we don't need more than 5 hours a night. We go through so many cycles, or so we need 4 cycles or something, and that's contained within 5 hours of sleep. So apparently that's all we need, but I need more than that. Certainly at the present, as we're going through this shift and all this processing. Although I'm not sleeping that much in a minute, actually. But a question was for the Zetas. I didn't see it. Was it possible for you and us to communicate during the abductions, and how? I think it was yes. Yeah, as I understand it, there's a lot of telepathic communication. Yeah, at times, of course, most people were unconscious for most of their abductions, I believe, or don't remember. But yeah, there's definitely communication between the greys. I say I'm not really an expert on this. Yeah, I think there was a lot of telepathic communication between the greys and humans during the abductions. Was the matching with another person to make a hybrid child random, or is there a process behind it? Was it just human plus Zeta DNA, or did it have to be two specific humans? I think they took the DNA from like more than just two beings. I think, as I understand it, those hybrid children produced that might have hybrid DNA from a male and female human, but also DNA from perhaps more than one different Zeta Grey. And I don't think it was random. I think they were specifically looking for genetic traits such as telepathy, strong physical bodies, good health. These sort of things you would look for if you were, what any farmer would look for, I guess, if he was farming, trying to produce the ultimate cow for milk or whatever. You'd look for the traits. They were looking for the genetic traits such as telepathy, empathy. I don't know, but they were certainly definitely looking for certain genetic traits such as strong telepathy, high consciousness, strong physical resilience. I see craft at night and I see them flashing lights. How can I establish contact? I think they can sort of pick up on us. They do sense what we're thinking. So if you put out a thought to them, I think they will sense it. Definitely if they're there for you, because often when we see flashing craft, they're not just randomly there. They're there for us because it's a part of our path. So yeah, just put. I had an experience over here, actually, over this house, with a UFO flying over, and it was just a bright light flying over the house. And I said to it in my mind's eye, if you're a UFO, move up and down. And the instant I said that, it went zoop, moved along, disappeared, zoop, came down, and it like instantly responded to my requests. So they can hear our thoughts, and especially if you connect through your heart, you can try and tune into your heart and speak to them from your heart. They are very likely to respond to that. Just think it out there. That's all I did. I didn't say it aloud. I thought in my head, if you are aliens, if you are ETs, move up and down, and they did. So either that's an extremely crazy coincidence, or they heard me. Have you been in communication with Nikola Tesla? I presume this was a question for the Zetas, who I'm no longer channeling, but I did actually quickly see that, and I did sense that no, not really. It's not part of their thing. While they might have done a little bit, it's certainly not a big thing for them. So I sometimes I keep thinking about trying to channel Nikola Tesla. I've never actually done it though. When meditating, should you focus on a certain race to communicate, or keep it open for any ET? I would say whatever you're inspired to do, just go with your instinct. If you feel particularly drawn to a certain civilization, go for it. Otherwise, just keep it open. I think either can work, whatever resonates with you the most. Many spiritual people end up killing their ego mind. Is it a necessary upgrade for yourself in order to advance spiritually? I mean, do you have to do it? Well, the spiritual evolution is the transcendence of the physical mind ultimately. So some way we've got to move beyond the physical mind. One of my teachers used to say, you can't kill the ego, you've got to love it to death. I am on the understanding Gaia is moving into the next dimension with us, and this is a first of its kind, and her new name will be Araya. I've not heard the name Araya. I've actually done a channeling about this about 4 or 5 channelings ago, about a month ago. I did a channeling, it's titled Channeling Gaia, and she talks about this. She talks about how Gaia is actually already in fourth density, waiting for us to catch up. Jonathan C. Martin, what is the most important message that you keep receiving that could help us all on our path? Thank you. Well, it's got to be live your excitement. This is the main teaching of the Yael. Live our highest excitement moment to moment. What they teach is that we all have a specific purpose for being on Earth. It's not just random. We're not just loosely tuning into our excitement. We all come here with like a blueprint, a specific gift to share. And it can vary how we do that, I guess, but we have a specific theme. We do have an imprint. Like every one of you guys watching, you all came here with a specific calling, a specific gift to share with humanity, a specific way to upgrade this civilization, to take this Earth into a love-light reality. And for a lot of people, it is to be a light worker in some form, because we're all here to upgrade this civilization. We're all here to take this reality to the next level of consciousness, to fourth density consciousness. And we all chose to incarnate on this planet at this time to play our part in the evolution of this species, the evolution of this planet. And the way we tune into our calling and the specific way that we are here to serve humanity and upgrade this civilization is through our excitement, through our highest excitement. So the greatest piece of wisdom, the most important message that I keep receiving and I can share with you guys is follow your excitement. What's your excitement? What is your joy? What lights you up? What brings you bliss? In what way do you like to create? What brings you joy? What is your excitement? Follow your excitement moment to moment, and it will lead you, even if it's not quite clear at first and you seem to be going all over the place. It doesn't really seem to be a service. Eventually, it will start to harmonize, and you will see that there is a certain excitement, a certain momentum in your life to share your gift, to share your divinity, to share your love and light in this reality in a certain way. So follow your excitement. What is your excitement? What is your excitement? What would you rather be doing? Are you living your highest excitement moment to moment, or are you in a job you do not prefer, in a place you do not prefer to live, in a relationship you do not want to be in? Are you in the perfect relationship? Are you in the location of your dreams? Are you serving humanity in the most exciting way you can think to serve humanity? Follow your excitement. Most important information. What are your thoughts on transhumanism and sex bots replacing women on this earth? Sorry if this may seem like an inappropriate question. I'm really curious. What are your thoughts on transhumanism and sex bots replacing women? Well, I don't think sex bots are going to replace women. All sex bots are going to serve is people that have, see women as, sex objects and lust, and which is a very old way of seeing them. I like to think we're starting to transcend the view of women as merely sex machines. So sex bots might replace women for, I don't know. I don't think they're going to play a part in this earth at all, because we're shifting into a new earth of divine consciousness and highest respect for the feminine, the divine feminine, and especially in women. So I don't think sex bots are going to have much of a place in the new earth. They may do for a short time, but people are soon going to evolve past, the desire for mere sexual fulfillment. It's an old reality. Just gaining our joy from sex. It's okay, and it's still part of our reality. But if it's purely about the sex to the point of sleeping with a robot, I don't think that's healthy, and I don't think it's going to last long. I think if you're in a relationship with a sex bot, I think you're going to get quite messed up quite rapidly. And transhumanism. Wow, that's a deep question. So I presume transhumanism refers to trying to extend the human life through technology. So I would say I don't really resonate with that at the minute. I think we can. I think there's a divine purpose to our lives. Yeah, I think I would say I don't know. Maybe there's a positive side to transhumanism, but I don't know. It's very strange, and generally a pastime of the dark side. So, transhumanism and sex bots, they will be rife on the earth that we are not going into. That's the negative earth that we left behind a long time ago. Hi, I have seen waves in my meditation today. Get ready, guys. This one coming is a strong one. Well, that's no surprise because we seem to have had a few days relief. So it's like we've been going through intense waves for like 6 months, and like it's finally calmed down a bit. And it's like, so I won't be surprised if we get hit by another conscious tsunami in a few days. Okay, so we seem to be coming to an end. So I hope you all enjoyed. So tune in to the Zeta. Imbalance to wisdom. So I think I'll leave it there for today. So thank you, guys. Thank you for being part of the live stream. Excuse me. And I will see you same time next week, 6 p.m. UK time. Have a wonderful day, everyone. Shivai. Good day.